And welcome back to the watch. Now we get to see what all this watch business is all about. So, welcome back, folks, into Discord. Howdy.
Hey.
So,
Hello.
After your experience in the forest that night, you eventually finished your job, but you did so with Lucas Hassel, who turned out to be the guy with the buff-ass greatsword. And he told you... Yep. And he has told you who he is. He is a keeper of the watch. Now, many of you know the watch, but for those who don't, the watch is an organization that tries to help people, but for cash money. It's an organization that works beside the law. And because you took down those goblins so efficiently, as you were making your way to town, he asked you all...
I took down those goblins.
Excuse you. He rewarded all of you. He thinks you all are pretty capable, and he asked you all if you would like to join the watch. You were given some time to consider, and you were asked to report to Kendall Hall if you had thought it was a good opportunity for you. What does everyone think about joining a group like the watch?
I'm down.
Personally, for me, it's without question, because I travel the lands looking for my scholar, my tutor, if you will, and I wish to teach his own teachings, so all the better.
All the better.
For me, it's a definite yes. Gives me more chance to see the world.
Indeed. It is a very hard job, but one that you have to train. And you found yourselves, after a while, all meeting up in Galena, a small little pastoral town, right outside what is known as Kendall Hall. It's this huge, Georgian mansion with this wall around it. It looks kind of beat up in places. It's definitely an old building. But you see a lot of people, all of whom are keepers. They're all designated by these huge cloaks that they wear over their heads. All different colors, whatever color they chose themselves. And it's a very prestigious place that you've come upon. When you come straight to them, you eventually meet Lucas Hassel again. And he's very pleased to see you all. And he immediately gets you set up with the training to complete the watch. You find yourselves today on an off day. You've been training for a while, but you get to have a chance to explore Kendall Hall together. I should actually probably give you a little dudes. Or we could just do this theater of the mind. You want to walk around Kendall Hall like this?
I mean, yeah, that place is impressive.
If you want to walk around, you can do it with your little icons. If you don't, if you just want to do a theater of the mind, we can do it that way. Don't matter to me. If you'd like to know where you can go, just ask.
Yes, why don't you let us know where we can go?
Oh, that is not north at all. North, where'd you go? There you are. There's a variety of different places within this big old mansion. It's actually pretty extensive how much stuff is here. Of course, you got the kitchen. You have already been training here for a few weeks, and oh my goodness, everyone likes the kitchen. It's always bustling.
No, but please tell me there's a library.
There is a library. You can meet Giles Lowe in the library. He is a nice little halfling who likes to take care of the books. There's also the training grounds. There's an empty room with what looks like it was an old fountain. And the only place that's off limits is the matriarch's quarters, which is a special place for the leader of the watch.
You will find me in the library, perusing all manner of books.
If you need me, I'll be having a light snack.
I'm just chilling.
So you're just chilling, Blargh, you just chilling too?
That tower seems pretty high. I want to take a look.
The tower, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's not necessarily a tower, but there are the walls that surround the building. Lots of people like to go up there and reflect.
This is just here.
Yeah, that's just to the upstairs. I didn't make the upstairs. Like I said, these maps are old. But if there's anywhere in particular you want to explore, you can go meet some people who happen to be around Kendall Hall. Out in the library, you immediately, Wulfgang, meet Giles Lowe. Like I said, he is just a halfling, and he greets you as soon as you come in. Well, how are you doing?
Hello. Are you the the keeper of this area, the keeper of the library?
Absolutely. I've seen you. I know you're a quiet type to look at the books and not talk, but it's good to actually talk to you for once.
Yes, indeed. How much knowledge of these readings do you have?
Our library is incomplete, but it's good that we have one. The nearest library to here is in the larger town, about 80 miles away. It's a long walk.
Yes, but what I mean is, how much do you know of everything here?
Oh, I know every book that we have here, and only if we had more.
Oh, I understand. I thirst for knowledge. Always.
Now, I know that you are a wizard of sorts.
Yes.
The person who is most familiar with the magical text we have is Arnold Cattleberg. You could find him over in the mage's quarters.
And where be the mage's quarters?
Upstairs at the end of the hall.
Oh, I do very much appreciate it. We'll have to continue to catch up at another time.
At any time.
And share our knowledge.
Your training will be long,
you.
Wulfgang. I wish the best of you.
As long as it expands my horizons, nothing is too much a challenge.
Now, over in the kitchen, what are y'all doing? Y'all just chilling at the table together?
Well, I think I'm about to challenge Baelar to a drinking contest.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Lord!
Constitution checks everywhere.
Do you meet his challenge, Baelar?
Do you think you can take me on, little guy?
Oh,
Hey, I may be a short pint, but I can drink you under the table.
He may be a short pint, but he can drink a big pint.
Chris,
Yes?
should this be showing on the screen?
What is it?
Should it be
You
showing
need to
on
actually
the screen?
show the map because all they see is our portraits.
No, I know. We're just doing theater of the mind for them. You can show it, I
Okay.
guess. Why not?
It's
Well,
up
there
to
you
you. I was
go.
just asking.
As what you can see, is a little place. But are y'all having this drinking contest?
Yeah.
All right, let's see some constitution checks. Drinking at midday, you fucking drunks.
Just
Right
the way I
before training.
like. Okay. Was that under core stats?
Yes.
Yes. I'll let you go first, since you challenged me.
Alright. I can pull it up again. And line.
Constitution, the third one in core stats.
Ah. Well, sir.
Dang.
Jeez. All right, let's see.
What say you?
Tastes like water.
Let's see what Blargh does.
Gulp, gulp, gulp.
So you can put back a few pints, Baelar, but you were just so eager to try, it just didn't work out, and you spilled it all over yourself. You hear several of the other keepers who are at the table across from you laugh.
I was just giving a little guy a chance.
Bree, what are you up to? Are you watching their ridiculousness?
Yeah.
Why don't you join in?
Okay.
Hit it up.
Constitution.
So, how would you like to represent this? Are you just really bad at drinking, or were you too excited, or maybe you're just like taking little sips, you're not in the contest?
I am taking sips, because that is how I actually do it in real life.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. So you just joined in. They thought you were going to participate in the contest, but not quite.
I just wanted the alcohol.
At least you know what you want.
Well, I'll be enjoying this and
Hard goals.
You have, you both notice right away the clatter of boots right behind you, and this stout little dwarf sits right next to Bree. Oh, howdy, mates! I see you're having a lot of beer, and he's, like, already done with his. Like, he gulped it halfway across the tiny walk between the tables. My name's Kada Kurazar the Brewbrate. How do you do?
quite well, sir.
You're the new recruits,
Doing
aren't
some
you?
fun.
Yes,
We are.
How are you liking the training?
Definitely different than my usual routine back home.
And where do you come from?
West of Bohemia.
Ah, in the Western Country. I know little of it because we live in the north out in Homestrand. But it's good to see you here.
Thank you. Good to see you too.
Are you scaring them again? Says a woman who walks up. She has a red cape. She's definitely a keeper, and she seems to know her business. She has a nice sword at her side. I'm not trying to scare them. Well, sometimes they should be scared. Training is not an easy task. She doesn't seem to, like, be hostile to you, but she's questioning when the fucking North just, like, lit the largest lantern on Earth. Jesus. But, she doesn't seem to be hostile, but she seems to be a little stern. How do you
At
react
this
to her?
point, I would like to, let's see here. I'd like to just try and be charming as I can and see if I can get her to feel a little more confident in how our training is going.
Make it happen. There's
Alright,
no rules for
so-
that. You gotta make it happen.
Would that be deception
Nope.
or
Hey,
persuasion?
that is roleplay. If you want to be charming to her, unless you want to, like, force her to be nice to you, you're going to have to try to talk it out of her.
Charisma.
All right, miss, I didn't catch your name. I'm sorry.
Maya Dole.
Maya Dole.
I'm the leader of the Red Feathers.
Very, very good to make your acquaintance. Now, I think you'll find that we may be a bit green as far as our training goes, but we have great confidence that we will surely be very good recruits.
Agilbert, go ahead and give a perception test. You don't need to get very high for this.
Okay.
So, you immediately feel it going to happen before it does, but you feel a hand slither around your shoulder, and a lady says, "Oh, don't let her bother you. She's just so stern all the time." She's very close to your face.
Oh, hello, and well, I mean, who might you be?
Oh, I'm Josephine, and who are you, little man?
I am Agilbert Silverstring.
Oh, what a name. Oh, just don't harass the poor boy. I'm not harassing him. Oh, he's quite beautiful.
I may be small in stature, but I'm large where it counts.
Baelar just left on the other side of the table.
Christ.
You two get to know these random keepers and the cook, while Wulfgang is heading upstairs to the mage quarters.
Mhm.
You see the door at the end of the hallway. What do you do when you open the door? Do you knock? Do you just open it up?
I mean, of course I knock on the door. It would be rude otherwise.
Come in, come in.
And as I step in, I greet the man very
So,
meekly.
you see,
Hello.
like, this room it's not in the best condition. There's, like, it's not well decorated, but there's tables everywhere and lab equipment everywhere. Lots of pentacles on the ground and tables, lots of strange rocks and crystals. Not a huge collection. You've seen better ones since you were studying with the mage from your past. But it is definitely, like, they can do some work here. And you're greeted by Arnold Kettleberg. Oh, greetings! I've seen you in the training.
Yes, hello, Mr. Kettleberg. Are you busy at the moment?
Oh, never too busy to have a conversation.
Oh, I'd love to talk about the knowledge and the history of magics with you, if you were willing to spare the time.
Oh, I'm surprised you haven't come sooner. I would love to talk about everything. You talk about things all day. There's a kid in the corner that you didn't notice. Oh, be quiet, Armin. Two wizards must discuss magic as it should be. I'm a wizard too, man. Well,
Oh.
not quite a wizard yet.
Oh, there was another. I can certainly leave.
Excuse me. Behind you, there's another woman coming through.
I'm sorry.
She just kind of like gently moves you out of the way. I haven't met you. What's your name?
What was
She's very attractive. She's
dressed.
dressed in very slimming clothing, like tight pants and kind of like a flowy top of some sort. You notice that she also has beads along her hands that you know are distinctly magical.
I am Wulfgang.
Wulfgang, fine. Adalbert, that is not the word. What's your name? Arnold! Do you have any potions for me? Oh yes, they're right here. And he quickly passes her some potions. She looks back at you as she's leaving the door and she says, hopefully you can do some stuff in training. And she walks right out.
Of course.
We stay busy here. We serve all of the magical needs of the entire watch, and as you can imagine, there are quite a few keepers who need our services.
Yes, I've noticed that lately. I was wondering my usefulness as well with my magical knowledge. If I could lend a help to the watch as well.
What is your
in the
specialty?
same way. I create illusions.
A rare feat indeed. We could definitely have use for you, but you will need to be a keeper to make sure you can help us properly.
Yes, of course. And I'm completely willing to do all the training I need. Anything to further my cause.
I have already heard good things of you. Keep up the strong work.
I appreciate it.
Don't fuck up, says the kid in the corner.
I'm so sorry.
Armin, be quiet. He gets frustrated and goes back to whatever task he was doing.
And all right, should I take my leave?
You can do as you please, my mage. If you have the day to spend with me, we can go. If you would like to help me with these potions, I would be much appreciated.
Oh, I'd be ever so delighted.
What is everyone else doing after your little drinking contest and chatting with the people in the kitchen?
After drinking a few beers with the others, Baelar decided to just go wander around the place and just basically discover everything. He's curious.
What other places have you discovered as you're looking around? You see any weird rooms?
I came by this room here.
Alright, so this is it's just a room on the map. Just assume that there's a large hallway. Is there anywhere or not a hallway, like a large campus? Are there any places in particular you want? You notice as you're walking around, there's an infirmary where a couple people are walking around inside. You've seen a place where like lots of lab equipment is stored on the first floor. There's a forge at the end of the hall, as well as an empty room that doesn't seem to be used. You do notice that a lot of the building is not in the best condition. Like, it's a really pretty building, but it's seen better days. You also see a lot of people outside, as well as a stable in the back.
Do I hear anything strange, like banging noise or birds, something like that?
You hear the distinct noise of a hawk from outside. You hear some horses from far away, and you hear the banging on an anvil from the forge.
I go outside and try to see where those hawks sound like coming from.
So the hawks would not be on the map, so you'll have to use your theater of the mind.
Yeah.
But you see that there is a young lady on the top of the back wall who is waving at a bird who's flying high in the air.
I go up the wall and go talk to her.
All right, so you make your way around the wall, and you end up meeting, what is her name? Oh no, I have too many notes, help. You meet Riska Yara, and she greets you happily. How do you do?
Hello. Is that your bird?
It is. Come! As she says it, the bird immediately begins to do a diving sweep and lands straight in her arm.
Baelar is really impressed by that.
The bird is equally impressed by your impressed nature. It seems very pleased with what it did.
I look at the bird and try to touch its beak.
It snips at you.
Ow!
Now calm
Fierce.
down.
I like
Calm
it.
down. She's talking to the bird. She goes ahead
Fierce. I
and
like it.
she waggles her hand and the bird flies away. We're still
envy
training
the bird.
birds. Yeah, we're trying to train our birds up. They're not quite there yet. It's been a long time since the keep had proper falconry, but that's my job.
I always envy those birds. Flying around, doing whatever they please.
You're a man of my own heart. You also notice that she's a halfling, so she's like half your size. So when she looks up to the sky longingly, oh, she's really thinking about flying.
At least I've got a better view from up here than you.
Rude, but I appreciate your joke. It's good to see you in the watch.
See,
What are let's see what Bree and Agilbert are doing. What have you explored in Kendall Hall?
Well, I went over here a little bit, and I was in here, and now I'm over here.
Remember, it's a large building. Is there any interesting rooms you found? You do see that one of the antechambers is this huge, like, it's the room like a kind of like in a cathedral, very large. It's clearly some sort of formal meeting room. There's also a few like military strategy rooms, as well as the large training area on the outside.
Wait, so where am I right now?
So you can be wherever you want. You don't have to stay true to the map. You could just be wandering anywhere in this big old building.
Well, I meant like literally.
Oh, like where in the world?
Yeah.
So, Kendall Hall is a place where the Watch calls home. It is in the south of Bohemia, south of the capital, and it's just their little plot of land. The closest town to here is a town called Galena, and it's about, a skip and a hop away. It'll take a while to get there if you try to walk, but everyone frequents the trip because they have to go get, just stuff. Foodstuffs, all that.
Well, I don't know. I was just outside by this, what I thought was a fountain.
Mm-hmm. They have a fountain in the inner courtyard. You see a few various people minding their own business. Do you want to talk to anyone?
Sure.
All right, who interests you? You see an orc who's hiding out in the corner. He's not sitting on a chair. He's literally just plopped down next to a wall. It's probably intimidating to see a gigantic orc because they are not too common. You also see... Who else do you see? You see a really burly man with a huge old beard hanging out in the other corner. He's reading a book. And he has some knives scattered about in front of him. He seems to be studying them. You also see a nice woman with long hair who is also reading a book under the tree.
I'll go to the woman. Which tree is she at?
It doesn't really matter. It's all you. All in your imagination. So you approach her. She doesn't take notice.
Well, this is awkward.
You can talk to whoever you want. Just say hi. Don't be antisocial.
Hello.
Oh, hello. How do you do?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing quite well. I'm studying on the breaking of horses. My name's Freya Radler. What's yours?
Bree Tealeaf.
Good to meet you. You're one of the new recruits.
Yes, I am.
How's training going?
It's going good.
Yes, we have been having harder times in the stables. There's only a few of us. It's very hard to tame a horse if you've never done so before. Have you ever ridden a horse? I imagine it's hard for a halfling.
I used to take care of horses.
Oh, very good. So you're from the country?
Yeah, I grew up on a farm.
Ah, where?
On the west side of Bohemia.
Very nice.
In a village.
I'm from Bremen, west of you.
Oh, nice.
Yes, it's been hard ever since I left home, but I imagine many people in the Watch know that.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
It's good to meet you.
It's good to meet you, too.
Agilbert, how are you doing?
Well, after my drinking contest, I've gotten a little bit too woozy, so I'm kind of relaxing in the fountain right now.
Relaxing in the fountain?
That's correct. I'm kind of sitting down in it with my head sticking out of the water, just kind of letting the coolness, because I get really hot when I drink too much. So currently just kind of resting and enjoying the sight.
So your face is in the water?
Well, my face is above the water, but the rest of my body is just underneath.
Okay, so you're in the fountain, so it's just kind of like you're using the fountain as like a wading pool.
Exactly.
Okay.
Which, being a halfling, it's pretty deep on me.
Let's see. Go ahead and make a perception test.
All right.
You don't notice shit. What? You don't know anything that's happening, but you do see someone poke you in the back of the neck.
Oh.
What are you doing in there?
Hello. I was
He
merely...
immediately sees your face, and he's like, "Oh, it's you. I've seen you around. How are you doing?" He offers you a hand to get you out of the pool.
Thank you. Thanks. Just feeling a little bit woozy after some drinking I've been doing.
This man is not only a halfling, but he's clad in robes with beads all over the place. He looks very tribal. My name's Tony Smallbarrow. How do you do?
Nice to meet you. I am Agilbert Silverstring.
Ah, so you are training to be a keeper?
That is correct.
Ah, very well. I tend to stay on my own as a keeper myself, but it's good to see more trainees.
What do you do as a member of the Watch?
Ah, well, it is our job to do what is needed. Those who can pay us and those who offer contracts to us allow us to go adventuring and aid them in whatever troubles them. We obviously operate without the need of the government, so it takes the stress off of the army. For me personally, I like to travel the back roads, making sure that I pathfind for any roads that get buried in, like, debris.
Excellent.
I like to stay alone.
Well, I personally prefer to travel in groups, as I still have not quite gained the confidence of being on my own in the wild.
He doesn't tell everything, says an elf that walks up. He sometimes will travel with me. Hello, trainee. How do you do?
Hi.
My name is Elioth Elin. How do you do?
I am well. I am Agilbert Silverstring, and it is nice to meet you, Elliot Cellophane.
Do you have any questions of your training? You seem to be having a bad day today.
Well, I feel as if I could use more training in certain regards as far as like my weapons, but I have yet to really try and explore the length of the weapon training ground.
Understandable. Well, this is the time to do it. You have a large amount of people who are very skilled at what they do. P.S. This is me letting you know if you have any questions on the mechanics, feel free to ask. That goes for everyone involved.
So far, so good.
If anyone's good, is there any last explorations you'd like to do, Wulfgang?
Yes. What is this room?
This is a meeting room, and no one seems to be here at the moment. You do see that there's a nameplate on the desk that says Lucas Hassel.
Oh, it's the showboat space. I suppose it's another matter. I'll leave.
Is there anywhere else you people would like to explore?
Not particularly.
Last calls.
I'm good.
So, your day passes and your training continues. In the Watch, their training is pretty rigorous, and it does a whole lot of things you probably didn't expect. Not only does it involve riding across the land on horses, learning how to wield your weapons or your magics as it happens to be, or actually like book learning, lots of learning different languages and such. You become very familiar over the next several months. On one occasion, you are asked to perform a duty, and Lucas Hassel asks you to his office. He says, what you need to do today is head to the north and aid the friends in getting rid of a bog slime. It's a simple task, but I think you all are able to do it.
Well, simple enough for somebody like you, I suppose. I might as well give it a try.
A simple slime is no match to your magics.
Yes, I'm
I've loved.
quite confident in those.
So whenever you are ready, you can embark from Kendall Hall.
Let us leave.
And if everyone's ready to go, this is where we really get off the beaten path, and we're not going to use this map anymore, but you can move around as you want. But as you leave Kendall Hall, the fields open up to you. You see a city to the far south. And, or not really a city, it's more like a village. But beyond that is open fields and rolling hills. And he says that the slimes are located to the north on the other side of the pond. So what I would like you to do is pick someone who's going to lead the party.
Well, obviously, my vote is with Wulfgang.
My.
And this is not necessarily the leader of the party. Anyone can be the leader of the party, whoever you decide. But this is the person who's going to navigate for the party.
I'm not sure.
As a mechanical thing,
Going
you
to-
probably want the one with the best either survival, nature,
Well,
or
yeah.
perception checks.
In that regard. Sorry, Wolfgang, you're quite bookish. I think as far as
It's fine.
someone to lead with navigation, I would say
Yeah.
Baelar would be the best choice.
I agree. Or even possibly Bree.
That's true. We'll say you, Bree.
I've lived a long time on the road in woods.
That is true. I would appreciate your experience. Would you be willing to, Baelar?
Let's just go.
All right, it's just that
Without a
simple.
further word, I go for it and
Alright,
start
so
walking the road.
it is a sunny day and there are no clouds in the sky. It is very warm. It is late autumn at this point. You started your goblin killing adventure back in summer, so quite a lot of time has passed. What you need to do here is you need to click that travel button in the bottom left of the screen.
All of us?
Travel?
Nope, just Blargh in this occasion.
Travel?
Yeah.
Too late.
All right, and which direction do you want to go?
You said we were going north?
Yep.
Well, let's do that.
All right, you're gonna head due north. You quickly see the pond that he was talking about, and you see a small little wood north of that. What do you do?
So
Fearless leader.
the slime you said, bug slime,
Mm-hmm.
was at the pond?
Not in the pond, north of the pond.
Oh, well, I guess we go around the pond and continue.
All right, do another travel roll. Interesting. Let me do a thing real quick.
Guys, I'm scared.
Time to roll initiatives, I bet.
As you continue across the fields, you're almost in the forest when you see a herd of deer.
Oh,
Hmm.
oh, wonderful creatures.
They're prancing about. They all see you, and they're just kind of timid about it.
Well, let's press on. No need to bother with
I
weeds.
cast Speak Animal.
You could do that. Is there a range for speak animal?
Let's see here. It just says range self. Duration 10 minutes. So it depends on how far away they are.
I mean, well, you can cast it on yourself, if you want to. Do you want to?
Actually, I think it would be beneficial if I cast it on Baelar. He can see if they have heard or seen
Well,
any sort of
If
activity.
you can only cast it on yourself, you can only cast it on
yeah.
yourself.
All right, I will cast it on myself then.
All right. So you can now speak to animals. What would you like to say?
All right. I'm going to speak with the deer and ask if they've seen any activity or noticed that there was a slime about. Because they would have, being in the area and having the water source, they would be familiar with the area very, very much so.
All right, let's see how they react to that. The deer points its nose, the one that's in front, points its nose over to the woods.
All right, guys. Sorry for that weird outburst, but I did just speak with that deer over there. Strangely enough,
You
He
spoke
says-
with a deer.
don't question it. Listen,
All right.
You might have
Alright.
to teach me that later.
I think if you remember, I have been able to cast enchantments and illusions previously. Anyways, so I
Yes, yes,
spoke with that deer
Okay.
and asked him about the whereabouts of the slime, and he pointed towards the woods. So I think it'd be best to
All right.
try and pursue that way.
All right.
Everybody is
fearless
on with
leader,
the deer's
once
word.
again.
So, yeah, well, I mean, like, the deer are, like, on the other side of the field. So you just, like, shouted it out at them, and the deer just, like, pointed its head. They just kind of, like...
Yeah,
After you kind of talked
I-
to them, they just kind of, like, dispersed. They just walked on their own merry way.
I just imagine Agilbert suddenly doing some deer sounds. Like we stop and he just do that.
That is
That
up
would-
to Agilbert, like, however he wants to represent that. You could make deer noises, you could speak English, and they just understand you. What did you
ASL.
I like the idea of making strange noises.
do? So you know that vine where it's just the deer that's screaming?
Yes.
It's like
Yep.
that. You're just like, "Wah!" And they're just like, okay, that way.
That's all deer sound.
Uh-huh.
Perfect. Yes, that is
Got
what I
it.
did.
And if you all are ready to continue, click the travel button again, Blargh.
Oh, shit.
You
Boo.
pass into the forest without trouble. You quickly come upon a stream, and the stream seems to be widening the further north you go.
Does this seem to be the right way,
Huh.
leader?
I feel like at the stream I would look around to see if I can see traces.
There are no traces here, but you do see tracks leading along the stream side to the north.
Well, I guess if there's tracks, we'll follow them.
Alright, click the travel button again.
There we go.
Man, you are good at navigating. You just go straight through that woods. You come to a
it's just
path,
a wood.
right or left. You see tracks heading to the right.
Always go left. Oh, if we see tracks right, then right.
Yeah, they go through the stream. So you choose to go right?
I guess, yeah.
Alright, one more travel. Alright, as you continue down this little walking path that you found through the forest, you hear the noises of several people. They're just hollering. They're through the copse of trees in front of you.
Just hollering.
They're just making a lot of noise. Just a lot of racket.
That could be our people. Shall we go, everyone?
Only one way to find out.
It's y'all. If you want to go, you can go.
Let us move along.
So you pass through the copse of trees, and indeed, you see several keepers who are dealing with a slime. It is big. It is just big old fat slime that's just slopping around. It's very slow.
Almost comical at this point.
They're all stabbing at it, but it seems to be giving them a lot of trouble.
Do they not have any magics?
Do they have any magics? You see someone who's distinctly a sorcerer, and they seem to be very tired.
Oh, goodness. I should...
What do you do?
I walk over to the caster, if you will, the mage, and ask him what has been going on for the past few minutes or hours.
So she's startled by you, and she immediately alerts everyone who jumps away from the slime, and they all turn toward you, and they look on the defensive. They don't say anything.
People. I apologize. We're here to help you keepers. We're also part of the part of the watch.
Oh, it's you, says one of the men. He's a half-elf, and he's the closest to the slime. It's almost on his foot, but he's like mining it as he talks to you. Yeah, we sent for you just a few minutes ago. I'm Soren. This is Leon, Rita, and Micah. We need help here. This thing is just not going down.
Have you made any sort of progress with it? I mean,
Define progress with a massive lump.
I understand it's a massive lump, but what I'm saying is, do you notice any change in its activity, or in the look of it, or the consistency, the smell, anything?
It's definitely like the thing is still holding together, but is breaking apart slowly. If you all could just help us with a big old attack, throw your strongest thing at it.
I suppose that's all we have to do.
While those two are speaking, I just take out a javelin and throw it. Without a word.
As you will. We're not even doing turn order for this. You can just ready your biggest attack. It's just moving super slow.
Alright, if it's just moving, I just run past them and just swing at it.
Take a big old swing. Not bad. What did the rest of you do?
I will immediately turn around and cast Witch Bolt.
Do it. Not bad. That's 11. And you cast Thunder Wave, so everyone backs up for your Thunder Wave, and then you blast it. It's not as effective as usual. It's just like a little lightning bolt, but it was okay. It's just like it didn't make a big boom; it made a crack. It's like the sorceress kind of laughs, but she's too tired to do anything. And you stab in the face, whatever face the slime has, for 5. Let's see how much damage they do. Let's see. How will we represent that? We'll do like this. They do a solid bit of damage, and after about 2 hours of just pecking away at the stupid thing, you get it down.
Nice.
I'm exhausted.
It is so tiring.
Thank you very much, says the young dwarf who's standing near. Everyone's very thankful for helping you. You notice that all of these people are not, in fact, keepers. They are trainees with you.
I see. More of us. So, pray tell, what brought you all to the watch?
Who would you like to ask? There is Soren, who is clearly a fighter with a nice big old sword. There is Leon, who is a cleric, who is just hanging out in his robes. There's Rita, who's the sorceress. And there is Mika, who is a huge old paladin clad in armor.
I think I would like to ask, Rita, was it?
Rita.
Rita, yes.
Well, I joined the watch because Arnold saw great potential in me. He's the chief mage, as you may know.
And have you been training much longer than we have?
Oh, you don't remember me from the first day.
Oh, I apologize. I'm very within myself.
You also remember seeing a few other people who aren't here. There was a strange lizard man. There's also this really weird cat girl. They both seemed to know each other and they hung out all the time. There's also a half-elf who you don't really know a whole lot about. You haven't talked to him too much, but he seems pretty friendly. And there's also a ranger who just hangs around. He spends his time out in the courtyard. So you've been acquainted with quite a few trainees as you've been here.
Yes, I do quite apologize. I've been so inwards with my own studies, and maybe we'll have to work together and discuss things at some point.
Perhaps. That sounds nice.
Yes, I would very much appreciate it like that.
If anyone would like to talk to the others while you just take a rest around this gigantic, the slime is just devolving into the creek. So anyone who wants to just chat while it continues to just slime out, feel free.
So is there any use for slime once it's kind of melting back down to its elemental properties at all?
It's like a collection of rot and mud and gunk.
I pick up a handful of the slime and throw it at Baelar. And I say, think fast.
Interesting. How to do this? Let's think. How is the fair way to represent this? How would you like to respond to this? Well, okay. Here's how we'll do it. Baelar, perception check. Oh, you didn't see it. Oh, wait, no. Hold on. I was looking at something else.
Did I think fast?
Oh, you
I
thought
did.
you thought super fast.
You were aware of it before even I
immediately saw it. You knew what he was going to do as he stuck his hand into the gunk.
So I'm just going and grab him.
So you, as you throw it, Agilbert, you chuck it pretty well. Well, let's see how far well you did it. Give me just a straight D20. You can type /R D20.
With a space.
Yeah. It was an okay throw. It wasn't anything special. Were you throwing that with the intention to hit him, or do you kind of throw it to miss?
I was aiming for his chest.
Okay, so it had the right momentum, but it just went off target. So even with it going off target, he basically danced around it. He dodged in the direction of the thing and still dodged it.
Bloody half-elf.
He just spun around that thing.
To be fair, I'm pretty dexterous.
It's true. He's not wrong. The whole group that you were fighting with just laughs.
Well, what's your rebuttal?
I'm just gonna grab the Agilbert and throw it in the pool of
You fool!
of everything.
You can try. Both of you make strength checks.
Oh,
God.
Wow.
Would that be... This is not going to go well.
No!
You tried to throw him, but he kept his footing, and he wouldn't let you lift him off. The group continues to laugh.
Interesting attempt. Although I do wonder if there's anything to this slime that I could research into.
In the meantime,
you know, it's literally just slime. It's nasty. You don't even want to research it.
I'm going to attempt to trip Baelar into the slime pile he tried to throw me into.
You can try. For that, try an acrobatics test.
For both?
Yes.
Acrobatics. There.
And I'm actually going to give Baelar the advantage on that because you already tried once, so he was ready for you. So you got close, but he was still too dexterous for you. He just bounded away.
damn, taking all the fun out of it.
So, as the whole group laughs, y'all have a picnic and then eventually return to Kendall Hall. Your training is long and hard, but at the end, you finally become part of the Watch. Whenever your training is finally complete, you all go to that big meeting room that you saw, and you meet Panthea. She is the matriarch of the Watch. She's a young woman, barely in her 20s, and she knights you part of the Watch. She does this little performance, and there's this fanfare. Anyone who happens to be at Kendall Hall cheers on your exploits, congratulates you on your hard training, which has lasted over a year. It is now summer of the next year. You're not quite part of the Watch, but you're basically there. You need to pass your final test to make sure you get in. How are you all feeling as this big to-do is being given for you?
I'm feeling much more confident in myself.
You've all had a lot of training. Yeah, you've had a lot of training. You've learned a lot of stuff. Any people you've met, you recognize them immediately. You know everyone by name. You've just learned a lot over this past year.
But I am quite curious as this final to-do, as you say.
The final to-do will be a big coronation, basically, but only after you pass your final test.
That is what I mean, that final test.
And if no one has anything left to do during your training, then we might have to go to break real quick.
Neat.
Do it.
You ready to do it?
Yeah.
Then it looks like you're going to be doing your final test soon. But we're going to peace out for break real quick. So do the peace stuff. Get a drink if you got it. We'll be back in like 5 minutes. See you soon.
Let's do it.
No.